Hello guys, what's the story? Welcome back with another video. I haven't posted one in a while now, no excuse, but here I am now, and it's that time of the year again. A new killer in the PTB for Dead by Daylight. We all know him, the Pinhead. All the DBD content creators always come out of the woodwork the moment there is anything remotely new uh, to the game, especially if it's a new killer and a new survivor. I'm not gonna bore you with all like the details because there are many YouTube content creators who do that. I wanted to make a different kind of video. As you probably guessed it from the title, I am going to talk about why I think this might be the first killer that I am not gonna get. I'm not gonna pay money to get this killer. This killer does not bother me. The idea of not having this killer means, relatively speaking, nothing to me. And I'm here to present the case why, if you feel like I do, it's okay to feel that way. Or if you're maybe questioning whether to get the killer, many people will tell you, oh yeah, get it, get it, get it, especially the influencers in this game. Influencers, whatever. So I'm here to kind of give you the opposite perspective. Long story short, this killer is nothing special really. There is nothing unique or the thing that makes this killer appealing, if you know what I mean. You can see that I have gameplay in the background. You can check out the gameplay to kind of see what I'm gonna talk about. His main power, in my opinion, sucks. And I know this is a pattern with a lot of these killers lately in Dead by Daylight. That they suck. They are carefully, I would say, painstakingly designed in a way where they can just like babysit the survivor. The powers are catered not to the killer, but to the survivor. That's the way design of these powers work. You cannot have simply a power that benefits killer and disregards survivor. No. If you have to create a killer, and that power, for every inch of goodness that a killer gets with the power, you need to give survivors a fucking mile, a fucking kilometer. That's the design of the killers. I'm always of the opinion that it should be like a bragging rights that you can escape a killer. But in this game, that's not what it does. Killer always should be, in my opinion, hard to escape it. Because then, if a survivor does escape a killer, it's a rewarding, you get a rewarding achievement. Yeah, I can escape a killer. But that's not what the behavior does. They create these killers where it's like, oh yeah, just another killer, okay, whatever. Let's go, let's go. You're just the first or the second of hundreds of thousands of killers I escaped. Whatever. Sure. I wanna discuss some good things first. So, aesthetically speaking, he looks amazing. He looks exactly like the Pinhead that we all know and love, except the whole belly button thingy. I don't know what's up with that. Is the later iterations of it have that? I'm not sure. The belly button with hanging hook and the tools. Why would he carry tools with him? I don't know. His whole animation. where he doesn't interact with the world almost. It seems everything is done through the hooks. Uh, that's cool, and I can totally dig the style. You know, just this effortlessly. You have anything you want to do, the hooks can do it for you. That's cool, and that's about it. When it comes to his powers, he basically has two powers. First power is the puzzle box. It acts like a tracking device slash a passive nuisance to survivors. And I'll leave like the segment somewhere where you can read his powers and his abilities, and I'm sure you already know his powers and abilities. Uh, and that power is cool, but there's nothing I can do with it, you know, except teleport to survivors whenever they interact with a puzzle box. That's cool. I like that. I like that. Kind of reminds me of Freddy. That whole passive thing with teleportation, to me, that just feels like a copy paste of Freddy. And when it comes to his active ability, I think of it as a Call of Duty Predator missile, you know, where you control the missile, although the controls are horrible. I quickly realized in the game, the moment I started to use it, and I used it only a few times, I don't want to use it. It's hard to control. I have to go out of my way, and that's the number one pattern in these killers recently. I have to make it so that the survivor has a better chance of escaping me for me to use my power. While the whole idea of killer power is the opposite, right? You want a power that ends the chase faster, not extends the chase. Like that's what I understood from most of the original killer uh, toolkit. Perfect. One of the most perfect iterations of that is Hillybilly. He can run faster and he can answer down the survivor. That's like the epitome of a killer is supposed to be able to do, right? It just seems that it's no longer the case. You know, we don't want good killers anymore. We want these gimmicky, boring ass killers. They look awesome. They might even feel awesome when you pilot one of these killers, but it quickly, this veneer of awesomeness quickly falls apart once you actually realize what the hell you're doing with your powers. The whole predator chain missile seeking survivors is boring. And obviously, the power took inspiration from a nurse. It's like a worse version of nurse. They're like, how can we? I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet if the nurse did not came out uh, when it did, and instead the nurse was coming out now, no way she will have that power to teleport wherever she wants to. No way. And I'm guessing like Pinhead is the perfect proof of that. Bor awesome looking killer, aesthetically very pleasing. Fits the game perfect in my opinion. But his power sucks. The cool part of the power, the passive one with the lament box, there's nothing I can do with it except finding the box. I never even found the box to be honest in this match. I was sent obviously to Strode. Imagine in PTB you have survivors who wanna like send you to this map. Never mind, it took me 10, 20, how many minutes of finding this match, and this is what I get. Holy, okay, that's a whole other story. So why am I not again? I'm not getting this killer. The three perks he has, the best way to describe them, they're all gimmicks. They're all gimmicks. None of them are, in my opinion, meta-defining perks. And I want meta-defining perks for a simple reason, not because I want to win, although it's part of it. I just think the current meta is old and stale and boring. Here, let me describe you what every killer runs if they actually want to have a chance at the higher ranks. By the way, ranks mean nothing, but so you tell me if like you tell me in the comments how right I am. Corrupt intervention, the gen regressing perk, the hex ruin, and then the two other perks is either the hex on dying, uh, hex on dying, or any other like two perks such as Pop Goes the Weasel and or Tinkerer, I think. Like and obviously barbecue chili. So like imagine, yeah, and so barbecue and chili because if you're grinding for the blood points as a killer, you'd be a fool not to use it. So imagine four slots: barbecue and chili, corrupt intervention, and or the ruin. Three perks are automatic. Three slots for the perks automatically gone. You have one slot. That one slot will be probably reserved for either Sloppy Butcher, maybe Nurse's Calling, and or maybe Undying. You know, um, wow, that's it. Those are the four perks you almost have to bring if you wanna 4K. If you don't want a 4K, then whatever, bring wherever you want. Then the question becomes, well, if I can't, am I a good killer if I can't kill four survivors, you know? I'm not gonna get into that debate. This guy, despite me having, well, I'm not gonna spoil how well I did in this game. Uh, the survivors were, you know, the survivors were good, but I feel that this killer, just like the trickster, in a way, clown, and who else? Trying to think of trickster, clown, maybe a bit of twins. Uh, babysit the survivors. Nemesis, the last killer. Nemesis actually doesn't. I like that. The way Nemesis is designed and the way Nemesis perks work and his power, he was well designed. He's a well designed killer. Uh, this guy follows the whole trickster shenanigans, and I right now regret owning trickster. All his perks are turned out to be horrible. All his power went from okay at the very beginning to complete shite. I don't like Trickster. There's nothing trickstery about it. That the perk with the bouncing blades, never used it. I used it at the very beginning in PTB when you could bounce off to the ground the blades near the survivors, so you deal like double damage. That was cool. Other and the moment they fixed that, I realized that the behavior does not want a strong killer. They want killers that babysit survivors. That's it. That's their whole philosophy behind most of the killers. Nemesis kinda has this whole mutation thing just for the sake of making him weaker rather than stronger, you know? Because if he already started with the whole uh, tier 3 thing, he would be very strong, but even then, really, his tier 3 extends his tentacle teeny tiny bit because otherwise, too strong. So, your bag now, if you like, the Pinhead officially came out. You see him in the store, you about click buy. What you're buying is, um, well, probably, most likely, most definitely, judging by projecting the behavior, that you will buy an underpowered, survivor sided babysitting survivor's killer with gimmicky perks. And the only awesome thing is his aesthetics. You know, Trickster looks awesome in my opinion, but doesn't make him a good killer. And there are even people in community who say he's gonna be weaker than a clown. Weaker than a clown. Holy shit. Need I say more? And with that having been said, I think that's all I wanted to say. I'm 90% certain I'm not getting this killer. This is the first killer I'm not getting. And I'm willing to bet first of many to come. Unless they actually power the shit out of him and make him actually threatening. I'm sick and tired playing D tier killer when most survivors try their best to behave like A-list survivors. Fuck that.